One of the biggest advantages of 3D printing is the ability to offer unique print-on-demand products, like this tulip bowl, perfect for Dutch-inspired home decor. This lets you start a business with minimal upfront investment. I've already saved the project and set up the ground component to save you time so you can jump straight into the design. Let's start the first sketch inside it. A center diameter circle at the origin is the perfect foundation. I'm making a small bowl with a 100 mm diameter, but feel free to adjust the size to suit your needs. Instead of a thin extrusion, I'm using a standard extrusion with a 15-degree taper. This keeps the workflow intuitive. Press Enter to confirm when you're happy with the settings. Use the Shell tool in the solid modeling workspace and set a thickness that ensures a strong 3D print. Make it thick enough for durability, but not so thick that it wastes material. You'll need to remember this value or set up a custom user parameter since we'll use this thickness again later in the design. Think of this offset plane as a tool. The exact measurements aren't critical. Just position it to keep your model clean, organized, and professional. Great 3D modeling is about precision, but maintaining a well-structured design file adds a touch of class and quality to your workflow. You can sketch your own shapes, but I'm supporting someone else's work by using a licensed SVG file for this vase. I've noticed that many of the SVG files I import come in upside down, but that's easily fixed with the flip button. I'll size this based on my instincts, but thanks to Fusion's parametric design, we can always revisit this step through the timeline if we need to adjust the exact dimensions later. The goal here is to add the shapes to the vase, then remove parts to achieve the look shown in the video thumbnail. The green color on the sketch indicates that it has a fixed constraint, but we won't need to focus on that in this Fusion tutorial. We'll use Extend to fix the tulip, bringing it together as one solid part. I highly recommend using a mouse with a scroll wheel, as it makes zooming in and out much smoother. Once we've extended the new lines to other parts of the flower, we'll use the trim tool to remove the unnecessary lines. I often check the view from the view cube to get a better sense of how things are looking, and we're definitely making great progress here. Choosing the entire tulip sketch in one move is faster, but selecting the areas one by one gives us more faces to work with when we apply colors later on. Emboss will make the sketch stand out from the vase, while deboss, a popular option in many designs, will lower the sketch into the vase. The emboss command with the 2 mm emboss worked perfectly, and now the tulip stands out nicely from the vase. Make sure to set the circular pattern to feature before trying to rotate it around the design. Otherwise, it'll be tricky to select the tulip. I mentioned earlier that the origin is the perfect starting point, and now we can see why. It's the ideal axis for creating the pattern. Press and hold the left mouse button to open a menu that lets you select items at depth behind other possible selections. This saves you time since you don't need to twist the model into awkward angles or toggle visibility to find what you need. The default quantity of 5 tulips looks great, so I'll keep it simple and press OK. Let's take a look at our work from the view cube. We'll create a sketch to remove parts of this tulip bowl. As often in Fusion, we'll start with a predefined construction plane and then use Sketch Project to create a sketch on it. The default settings work fine, and the purple lines indicate that the projection is linked to the original body. We don't need all the projected geometry, so we'll turn off the body's visibility. This makes it easier to select and delete the extra projected tulips. Next, we focus on the outer boundary of the projected vase. We connect the necessary points and offset the line using the same distance as the shell operation from earlier. To prepare for the next steps, we need a closed profile.
We do this by extending the sketch line until it meets the horizontal line at the vase's projected bottom. Now, turn the body's visibility back on for a quick visual check of the sketch's positioning. Next, place a horizontal line where you want to cut off the upper part of the sketch. I'm placing mine where the tulip stem intersects the leaf. With everything set, we're ready to revolve the profile around the central axis. If needed, press and hold the left mouse button to bring up the selection menu and choose the correct geometry. Press OK to confirm the revolve cut operation and remove the highlighted red area. Applying chamfers before adding appearances gives you distinct faces, making it easier to apply colors and finishes. Beyond aesthetics, chamfers and fillets improve durability and create a more user-friendly design by softening sharp edges. The details make all the difference. The vase has a 5 mm wall thickness, giving me some margin without pushing the limits with this 3 mm chamfer. Even though it's relatively small compared to the bowl, the chamfer creates a distinct detail where the bottom meets the side. I'll highlight the key takeaways from applying custom appearances, then skip ahead. No one wants to watch every detail of the process. As you'll see in the popular tutorials linked at the end, I often recommend applying appearances before creating patterns. This saves time and reduces manual adjustments. For this vase, I'm using a plastic matte green as the base color, then refining it with a custom hex code from a color palette found online. Duplicating your selected color makes it easy to maintain the matte base for the next shade. Finding color palettes online was a game changer for me. There's plenty of great info on colors that complement each other. Before applying this color to the top of the tulips, we'll need to switch the setting to faces. That's the main takeaway for adding appearances in this Fusion project. Apply appearances before creating patterns, use online palettes for better color choices, and adjust settings for precise application. With that covered, let's jump ahead to rendering the colored bowl. Change to the render workspace from the top left corner. Right-click the canvas and open Scene Settings. The default presets work well, but switch the background from solid color to the Photobooth environment for better lighting and color capture. Hold the mouse wheel to pan and find the perfect angle. Adjust the width and height ratio if rendering for a specific format, like video or an online store. I fired up 2 more renderings, making it free running simultaneously. It saves time, and as anyone who's taken photos of their girlfriend knows, more shots mean a better chance of success. And a happy customer. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Some might ask, why not create the tulip as a separate body, position it on the bowl with the joint, and then use a circular pattern? That works too. One of Fusion's strengths is that multiple workflows can lead to the same result. Every subscriber matters for a small channel like the Maker Letters. If you found this Fusion tutorial useful, check out this other Fusion project on creating a stunning product for 3D printing. Thanks, and see you in the next project.